guys, it's Lita. So I am going to be doing the vampire tag, and I was tagged to do this video by Nightmare Maven, and Carnage Candy is the one who came up with this tag. And it's similar questions to the werewolf tag that Queenie Todd created. So, but it's about vampires. So, you know, I had to do it. I was going to do it even though I was tagged, or even before I knew I was tagged. So thank you, Nightmare Maven, for tagging me. I really wanted to do this tag. So let's get on with the tag. Number 1, what is your favorite vampire film? So this is going to be a tie for me. It's going to be a tie between Nosferatu and Bram Stoker's Dracula because I love both of those movies. They're both good. Love Nosferatu because it's the original vampire movie. It's like the oldest one ever in existence, and it's so creepy. It's black and white, it's silent, but you don't need any sound. It's just creepy. He's probably what a vampire looks like IRL. If they do exist, they're probably not pretty. Probably very close to Count Orlok. And Bram Stoker's Dracula, I just love all the transformations in that movie because he goes from like a wolf to a bat to a decrepit old man to Gary Oldman with those Beatles glasses. Yeah, it's a good movie. I really love Bram Stoker's Dracula. So question 2 is, are vampires better than werewolves? For me, yes. Yes, I want to be a vampire. I don't want to be a werewolf. I don't think I'd want to deal with fleas, or the whole wolf thing doesn't appeal to me. I mean, it sounds cool, but I don't think I want to do that. Question number 3 is, who's the most brutal vampire in a film? So, I don't know if you guys know about the movie called Thirst. It's a Korean horror movie. Vampires are pretty vicious in that movie. I would recommend seeing it. It's really good. If you don't want to deal with subtitles, probably not for you. But it's a really good movie. It has to do with a priest that becomes a vampire, so there's that whole conflict. And I'm not going to really tell you anything else, except for a lot of the kills in the movie are pretty gory. It's Asian horror, so that's kind of to be expected, and it's creepy. So Thirst and 30 Days of Night, those vampires are also pretty brutal. And then question 4 is favorite vampire transformation. So that's gonna actually be a death scene for me. It's gonna be Christopher Lee in Dracula, the Prince of Darkness, but it's when he's dying, when like Peter Cushing kills him, because the transformation is pretty good to being dead. It's really good for being made in the 70s. The special effects are very impressive, and I love Christopher Lee, so rip. Question 5 is, what is the silliest / worst vampire movie you've seen? And that is going to go to A Vampire in Brooklyn. I don't know if you guys know about that movie, but it's Eddie Murphy as a vampire. It's funny, but it's stupid. So that's gonna be my choice for that. Question 6 is best vampire comedy parody. And I have 2 for this, again, because I can't pick, but one definitely outweighs the other. So of course it's going to be What We Do in the Shadows. That is the best comedy that has to do with vampires and werewolves like ever. I don't know who is gonna be able to outdo that movie, if that's even possible. If you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the honorable mention is going to go to Once Bitten. It's not that great of a movie, but it does have a really young Jim Carrey in it, so if you haven't seen that, I would IMDb that, because it's funny to watch. He's kind of like serious in it, and he's not doing any of his weird faces, so it's kind of novel to see Jim Carrey before he turned into Jim Carrey. Question 7 is, what is your first vampire film? So the first one that I remember seeing really realistically is probably Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is such a good movie. Christy Swanson is kick-ass as a vampire slayer, and the lead vampire's a lead vampire, pretty standard lead vampire, just, you know, cool and just kind of aloof, definitely a count, old as crap. So yeah, that would be my first one that I can remember. Not really a horror one, more of a comedy, but still a good movie. And question 8 is, who are your favorite vampires, real or fictional? And I've got 2 for you guys, and I'm just reading them off this website I found just so I don't mess up the facts of it, because yeah. So the first one is Peter Pelagojewicz. He was a man from the 1700s in Serbia who didn't die. So according, well, like he died, but then he didn't stay dead. So within 10 weeks of his death, 9 people just died of this mysterious illness, and before they died, they said that Peter had like visited them, and that's why they're dying, because he gave them this like stuff, this like sickness that's killing them. And they said that he like came to them in their dreams and was like beating them up and stuff like that. And then his own son said that he saw him in the kitchen 3 days after his death, trying to like get food from them. And then his son died. And then his wife fled town because she said that Peter came back and demanded a pair of shoes from her. So she just like left. So then the army was called in, they exhumed his body, and they reported that he was breathing and that his eyes were open and moving when they exhumed his corpse. So a stake was put through his heart, resulting in a gush of blood, which will happen, honestly, if, you know, when you die, like, and if it's a newish death, you're still going to have your fluids in you. It takes a little bit for that to get drained out of your body into the coffin or whatever they buried you in. So they staked him, then they burned his body. And then the next one that I will tell you guys about is it's a vampire legend from New England, and it's the story of Mercy Brown. So this kind of happened in Rhode Island. So basically this girl died from tuberculosis, and then the rest of her family started to die one by one, and then they dug up the girl's corpse and they found that she was really well preserved for the amount of time that she was in the ground. So they burned her body because they thought that she was a vampire. And then there's the cemetery in Connecticut, in New Griswold, that they uncovered a bunch of graves where all the bodies were fine except for this one that was turned into the skull and crossbones. Just, it was laid out like that, like the Jolly Roger, that's what that's called. So everyone was fine except for that one body, so they think that it was laid out in such a way because they thought that it was a vampire. So yeah, that is the vampire tag. I will list the questions for this tag in the description down below. So if you want to do this tag, please do this tag. I'm pretty sure everyone that I was going to tag has already been tagged to do this tag. So if you want to do the tag, just do the tag and let me know you did the tag, and I will watch your video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel Follow me on other social media. My links will be posted in the description box down below. Hit that notification bell so you guys know when I upload. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.